Hello, welcome. Welcome to the Speaking Momentum. My name is Maya, and I am so happy you are here today. I mean that. The fact that you press play this morning, that means something. It means you want to grow. It means you want to speak better English. It means you are ready. And I am here with you. For the next 1 hour, I will be your guide, your teacher, your English speaking friend. We are going to do something very powerful today. We are going to spend 1 full hour together, just listening, just understanding, just absorbing beautiful, clear English. No tests, no grammar rules to memorize, no pressure, just you and me and the English language, opening up in front of you, slowly, gently, powerfully. This is the speaking momentum. And today's session is called 1 hour daily listening, the missing key to fluent English. Let me tell you something important before we begin. Most people who want to learn English, they study grammar. They memorize vocabulary lists. They practice pronunciation alone in their room. And still, when someone speaks to them in English, they freeze. Do you know that feeling? That moment when someone is speaking to you in English and your mind goes blank? You understand maybe 30%, maybe 40%, but not enough to feel confident, not enough to respond freely. That feeling is very common, and it is not your fault. The problem is not your brain. The problem is not your intelligence. The problem is very simple. You have not listened enough. That is the missing key. Listening. And today, for 1 full hour, we are going to fix that. Together. We have 10 powerful chapters waiting for you. Each chapter will teach you something real, something useful, something you can use in your life, and everything will be spoken slowly, clearly, and simply, so that your brain can follow every single word. Are you ready? Good. Let us begin. Chapter 1. Why listening changes everything. Chapter 1. Why listening changes everything. Let me ask you a question. How did you learn your first language? Think about it for a moment. You did not sit in a classroom. You did not open a grammar book. You did not write vocabulary lists on paper. No. You listened. For months and months and months, you listened. Your mother spoke to you. Your father spoke to you. Your family spoke to you. The television spoke to you. And your brain, your incredible, powerful, amazing brain, absorbed all of it, silently, quietly, naturally. And then one day, you spoke. Not perfectly at first, but you spoke. And slowly, with more listening, more time, you became fluent. That is the natural process. That is how every human being learns a language. Listening first, speaking second. But when we learn a second language, like English, we forget this process. We go straight to speaking. We go straight to grammar. We skip the most important step. We skip listening. And that is why so many people, even after years of studying English, still cannot speak confidently because they skip the foundation. Think of it like building a house. You cannot build walls before you build the foundation. If you do, the walls will fall. The foundation of speaking English is listening to English, a lot of it, every day, for a long time. There is a famous researcher. His name is Stephen Krashen. He is a linguist, a scientist who studies language. He says something very important. He says, "We acquire language in only one way, when we understand messages." In other words, when you listen to English and you understand it, your brain is acquiring the language, not just learning it, not just memorizing it, acquiring it. Do you know the difference? Learning is conscious. You think, okay, this grammar rule means this. You study, you memorize, you try to remember. Acquiring is unconscious. Your brain just absorbs it naturally, the way it absorbed your first language. And how do you acquire English? By listening. By listening to English that you can mostly understand. Not too difficult, not too easy. Every single day. That is exactly what we are doing right now. Right now, as you listen to my voice, your brain is acquiring English. It is recognizing patterns. It is storing sentence structures. It is learning the rhythm of the language. It is hearing how words connect to each other. All of this is happening automatically, without effort, without pressure. Amazing, right? So the first thing I want you to understand today is this. Listening is not a passive activity. Many people think listening is passive, like you are just sitting and doing nothing. But that is wrong. When you listen to English, your brain is working very hard. It is processing sounds. It is matching words to meanings. It is building grammar structures automatically. It is preparing your mouth to produce those same sounds one day. Listening is one of the most powerful things you can do for your English. And the best part? You can do it anywhere. In the morning, when you wake up, on the bus, on the train, while you cook, while you clean, while you walk, while you exercise. 1 hour a day. That is all. 1 hour a day of focused, comfortable English listening will transform your English faster than almost anything else you can do. I promise you that. And we are doing it right now. So relax, breathe, and keep listening. You are doing something powerful. Let us move to Chapter 2. Chapter 2. The Morning Habit That Builds Fluency. Chapter 2. The Morning Habit That Builds Fluency. Let me tell you about two people. The first person is named Carlos. Carlos wants to speak fluent English. He studies very hard. Every weekend, he sits with his grammar book for 3 hours. He writes notes, he highlights sentences, he memorizes rules. But during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he does nothing. He is busy. He is tired. He forgets. After 6 months, Carlos still cannot speak English comfortably. His grammar is okay, on paper. But when he tries to speak, the words do not come. The sentences do not flow. He is frustrated. He feels like a failure. He thinks, maybe English is just too hard for me. Now let me tell you about the second person. Her name is Yuna. Yuna also wants to speak fluent English, but she has a different approach. Every single morning, before she checks her phone, before she drinks her coffee, even before she gets out of bed, she puts in her earphones and she listens. Just 1 hour. Sometimes she listens to podcasts like this one. Sometimes she listens to stories in English. Sometimes she listens to conversations between native speakers. She does this every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No exceptions. After 6 months, Yuna can follow conversations in English. When someone speaks to her, she understands. When she wants to say something, the words come more easily. She is not perfect, but she is confident. She is moving forward. She has momentum. What is the difference between Carlos and Yuna? Not talent, not intelligence, not even how much time they study total. The difference is consistency. Carlos studied in big blocks, but not every day. Yuna studied in small blocks, but every single day. And Yuna won. Why? Because the brain learns through repetition, through regular daily exposure. Your brain is like a muscle. If you go to the gym once a week for 3 hours, you will not get as strong as someone who goes every day for 30 minutes. The daily habit is always more powerful than the big, irregular effort, and the morning is the perfect time. Here is why. In the morning, your brain is fresh. You just slept. Your brain rested and recovered. The thinking part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, is most active in the morning. And this means whatever you put into your brain in the morning, it absorbs better. It holds onto it longer. It processes it more deeply. Also, starting your day with English puts your brain in English mode. When you spend the first hour of your day hearing English, your brain carries that energy for the rest of the day. You notice English words more. You think in English patterns a little more. Your mouth is more ready to speak English. It is like warming up before exercise. The morning listening session warms up your English brain for the whole day. So here is my recommendation for you. Starting tomorrow morning, before anything else, press play. Just 1 hour. Do not worry if you don't understand every word. Do not stop and look up every word in the dictionary. Just listen. Just flow with the language. Let your brain do its work. Some days will feel easy. Some days your mind will wander. That is okay. Bring your attention back. Keep listening. The habit is more important than the perfection. If you do this for 30 days, you will feel a difference. Your ears will become sharper. English will start to sound more familiar, more comfortable, more like something you belong to. Because you do belong to it. Anyone who is willing to listen belongs to the English language. It is not just for native speakers. It is for everyone who works for it. And you are working for it. Right now. Keep going. Chapter 3. How your brain learns English. Chapter 3. How your brain learns English. I want to talk to you about your brain today. Because I think when you understand how your brain works, you will stop feeling frustrated with yourself. And you will start trusting the process more. Let us start with something fascinating. Your brain has something called neural pathways. Neural pathways are like roads in your brain. Think of your brain as a big forest. Imagine you are walking through this forest. At first, there is no road, just trees and bushes everywhere. It is hard to walk. It is slow. You have to push through the plants. But then you walk the same path again and again and again. Slowly, a path forms. The plants move away. The ground becomes clear. Walking becomes easier. And if you walk that same path every day, over weeks and months, the path becomes a road. Clear, smooth, fast. That is exactly what happens in your brain when you learn English. Every time you hear an English word, a tiny connection forms in your brain. Every time you hear that word again, the connection gets stronger. Every time you understand a sentence in English, a new pathway is created. Every time you hear that same sentence pattern again, the pathway gets wider, stronger, faster. This process has a name. Scientists call it myelination. Myelin is like a coating, like insulation, that forms around your neural pathways. The more you use a pathway, the more myelin forms. And the more myelin, the faster and stronger that pathway becomes. This is why repetition is so important. When you hear, "Good morning, how are you?" for the first time, your brain creates a small pathway. When you hear it 10 times, the pathway gets stronger. When you hear it 100 times, the pathway is fast and automatic. When you hear it 1,000 times, your brain processes it without any effort at all. It becomes instant, automatic, natural. This is called fluency. Fluency is not magic. It is not talent. Fluency is just pathways in your brain that have been used so many times. They are now fast and automatic. And you build those pathways by listening. Every minute of English listening you do is building those pathways. Even right now, as you listen to my voice, your brain is building, growing, getting stronger. Now, there is another important thing about your brain. Your brain has a filter. This filter is called the affective filter. It was named by Dr. Stephen Krashen, the same researcher I mentioned earlier. The affective filter is like a gate in your brain. When you feel relaxed, when you feel comfortable, when you feel safe, the gate opens and information, English, flows in easily. But when you feel stressed, when you feel scared, when you feel embarrassed or pressured, the gate closes. And even if English is flowing around you, your brain cannot absorb it properly. This is why some people study English for years in a stressful classroom and still cannot speak. The stress closes the gate. But when you listen to English in a comfortable, relaxed way, like this morning, with a cup of tea or coffee, in a comfortable position, with no pressure, no tests, no judgment, the gate is open, wide open, and your brain absorbs everything. This is the power of relaxed listening. This is the power of what you are doing right now. You are not stressed. You are not being tested. You are not being judged. You are just listening, comfortably, naturally. And your brain, your beautiful, powerful brain, is absorbing every word, building pathways, getting stronger. One more thing about your brain that I want you to know. Your brain does not learn in straight lines. Progress is not always visible. Some days, you will feel like you are getting better. Some days, you will feel like you are stuck. Some days, you will feel like you are going backward. But here is the truth. Even on the days when you feel stuck, your brain is still growing, still building, still preparing. And then one day, suddenly, something clicks. You understand a sentence that you never understood before. You say something in English, and it comes out naturally. You watch a movie and understand without subtitles. These moments feel magical, but they are not magic. They are the result of all the quiet work your brain was doing. On all those days you thought nothing was happening. Trust your brain. Keep listening. Keep building. The results are coming. Chapter 4. Common Words. Part 1. The Language of Everyday Life. Chapter 4. Common Words. Part 1. The Language of Everyday Life. Now I want to do something a little different. I'm going to take you through a real English day. We will follow a person named Daniel. Daniel is a young man who lives alone in a small apartment. He has a simple life, but a meaningful one. As I tell you Daniel's story, listen to the words I use, listen to the phrases, listen to the rhythm of the sentences. This is real English, the kind of English real people use every day. Let us follow Daniel through his morning. Short pause. Daniel's alarm goes off at 6:30 in the morning. He does not jump out of bed right away. He lies there for a moment, eyes still closed. He listens to the sounds outside his window, birds, a car, the wind. Then he takes a deep breath, and he gets up. The first thing Daniel does every morning is drink a glass of water. Not coffee, not tea, just water. He says, "My body needs water after sleeping all night." He drinks it slowly. He stands by the kitchen window. He looks outside at the morning sky. Then he goes to the bathroom. He washes his face with cold water. He brushes his teeth. He looks at himself in the mirror. He says to himself, "Let's have a good day." He goes back to his bedroom. He makes his bed. He pulls up the blanket. He straightens the pillow. He makes it look neat. A made bed, Daniel says, is the first small victory of the day. Then he goes to the kitchen. He boils some water for tea. While he waits, he opens his window. Fresh morning air fills the apartment. He makes his tea. He sits at the kitchen table. And he just sits. No phone, no television, just tea. Just morning, just quiet. After 10 minutes, he feels ready. He opens his notebook. He writes 3 things he is grateful for. And today he writes, "I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for this cup of tea. I am grateful for a new day." Simple things, but powerful things. He closes the notebook, he finishes his tea, he stands up and stretches his arms above his head. Now, let me pause here for a moment. I want to review some of the words and phrases you just heard. These are everyday English words, common words, important words. His alarm goes off. Goes off means the alarm starts ringing. The alarm goes off at 6:30. He lies there. This means he stays in bed without moving. He lies there for a moment. He takes a deep breath. This means he breathes in deeply, slowly and fully. She took a deep breath before speaking. He makes his bed. This means he arranges his bed so it looks clean and tidy. I always make my bed in the morning. Fresh air fills the apartment. Fills means the air goes into every part of the apartment. The smell of coffee filled the room. He is grateful for. Grateful means feeling thankful. I am grateful for your help. He stretches his arms above his head. Stretch means to extend your arms or body. Like this. She stretched her legs after the long flight. These words, alarm, grateful, stretch, fill, breathe, lie down. These are words you will hear and use every single day in English. And now, because you listened to Daniel's story, your brain has seen these words in context, in real situations, with real meaning. This is the best way to learn vocabulary, not from a list, but from a story. Let us continue with Daniel's day. After his quiet morning at home, Daniel gets dressed. He chooses a blue shirt and dark trousers. He checks the weather on his phone. The weather app says, partly cloudy, cool breeze, low chance of rain. He grabs a light jacket, just in case. He picks up his bag, his keys, his water bottle. He looks around the apartment one more time. Okay, he says quietly. Ready? He steps outside. The morning air hits his face. It is cool and clean. He smiles a little. Good morning, he says, to no one in particular. Just to the morning, just to the world. And he walks down the street. Short pause. Let us look at a few more phrases from that section. Just in case. This means because something might happen, even if you are not sure. Take an umbrella, just in case it rains. I brought extra money, just in case. He grabs his bag. Grab means to take something quickly. She grabbed her phone and ran. He grabbed a sandwich before leaving. The morning air hits his face. Hits here means touches, suddenly and directly. The cold water hit my face and woke me up. To no one in particular. This means not talking to a specific person, just saying it to the general world. He said wow to no one in particular. These are natural English expressions, the kind that native speakers use without thinking. And now, you have heard them in a real story. Your brain has filed them away, ready to use. We will continue Daniel's day in a later chapter. But for now, let us move forward. On Chapter 5, The Art of Understanding Fast English. Chapter 5, The Art of Understanding Fast English. One of the most common complaints I hear from English learners is this. Maya, I can understand you when you speak slowly. But when native speakers talk, I cannot understand anything. They speak so fast. The words all sound like one long sound. I feel completely lost. Does that sound familiar? If it does, I want you to know. You are not alone. And there is a reason this happens. Let me explain. When native English speakers talk to each other, they do not speak the way words are written in a dictionary. They connect words together. They drop sounds. They change sounds. They shorten words. This is called connected speech. And if nobody teaches you about connected speech, fast English will always sound like a mystery. Let me give you some examples. The phrase, do you want to? Written, it is 4 words. do, you, want, to. But when native speakers say it, it sounds like, do you wanna? Listen again. Do you wanna? Do you wanna go? Becomes, do you wanna go? Do you wanna eat? Becomes, do you wanna eat? Try to hear this the next time you listen to a movie or podcast. You will hear it everywhere. Another example. Or going to hide in fast speech becomes gonna. I am going to call you later. In fast speech. I'm gonna call you later. She is going to be there. In fast speech. She's gonna be there. Another one. Have to becomes hafta. I have to go. Fast speech. I have to go. You have to listen. Fast speech. You have to listen. And want to, in some dialects, also becomes wanna. I wanna know. Fast speech. I wanna know. Now, I am not teaching you to speak like this. You do not need to say gonna or wanna. Speak clearly. Speak properly. That is fine. But you need to understand these sounds when you hear them, because native speakers will not slow down for you. That is just the reality. When you watch a movie, the actors will not pause between each word. When you talk to a native speaker at work or at school, they will speak at their normal speed. So your job as a learner is to train your ears to hear these connected sounds. How do you do that? By listening a lot, by listening every day. The more English you hear, the more familiar these patterns become. At first, gonna sounds strange and confusing, but after you hear it 100 times, your brain just processes it automatically, without thinking, without effort. There is another reason fast English is hard. Stress and rhythm. English is a stress time language. That means some words are stressed, said louder and longer, and some words are unstressed, said softer and shorter. Listen to this sentence. I want to buy a book. The stressed words are want, buy, book. The unstressed words are I, to, a. In fast speech, the unstressed words almost disappear. It sounds more like, I want to buy a book, or even, want to buy a book? The important words stay clear. The small words, to, a, of, the at, in, they shrink. This is very different from many other languages. In many languages, every word is given equal weight. Every syllable sounds about the same. But in English, the rhythm goes up and down, loud and soft, long and short. This rhythm, this music, is one of the things that makes English sound the way it does. And the beautiful thing is, when you listen to a lot of English, you start to feel this rhythm naturally. You start to hear which words matter most. Your brain starts to focus on the stressed words, and your brain starts to ignore or predict the unstressed words. This is how native speakers listen. They do not process every single word. They grab the stressed words, and their brain fills in the rest automatically. You will develop this skill too, with time, with practice, with daily listening. I want to give you one practical exercise right now. Tonight or tomorrow, I want you to watch a short video in English, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Something you enjoy, a show, a documentary, a video on YouTube. Watch it once with subtitles, then watch it again without subtitles. The second time, just listen. Do not read. Just listen and try to catch as many words as you can. Notice how the speech sounds different from how it is written. Notice the connected sounds. Notice the rhythm. Do not worry if you miss things. The goal is not to understand 100%. The goal is to train your ears, to get comfortable with natural flowing English. Over time, your ears will get sharper. The fast English will slow down. Not because native speakers start speaking slowly, but because your brain gets faster at processing it. That is the goal, and you will reach it. Keep listening. Chapter 6, Common Words, Part 2. The language of people and feelings. Chapter 6. Common words. Part 2. The language of people and feelings. Let us return to Daniel's day. It is now late morning. Daniel has arrived at his workplace. He works in a small office with 4 other people. When he walks in, he sees his coworker, Priya. And Priya is sitting at her desk. She looks tired. Her eyes are a little red. She is not smiling. Daniel notices this right away. He walks over to her. He says, quietly, gently, "Hey, are you okay?" Priya looks up. She takes a breath. She says, "Not really. I had a rough night." Daniel nods slowly. He does not say too much. He just says, "I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do?" Priya shakes her head. "No, thank you. I'll be okay. I just need a good cup of coffee." Daniel smiles. "I'll make it," he says. He goes to the small kitchen at the back of the office. He makes 2 cups of coffee, one for Priya, one for himself. He brings them back carefully. He sets Priya's cup gently on her desk. She looks at it. Then she looks at him. "Thank you," she says. And this time, she almost smiles. Daniel sits down at his own desk. He opens his laptop. He takes a sip of coffee. He begins his work for the day. Short pause. Let us look at the language in that scene. Very important, very human English. She looks tired. Looks here means appears or seems. He looks happy today. She looks worried. You look great. She had a rough night. Rough in this context means difficult or bad. I had a rough day. It was a rough week. That sounds rough. He nods slowly. To nod means to move your head up and down, to say yes, or to show you understand. She nodded and said she understood. She shakes her head. To shake your head means to move it side to side, to say no. He asked if she needed help. She shook her head. "I'll be okay." This is a very common phrase. It means, "Don't worry, I will be fine. Don't worry about me, I'll be okay." He takes a sip of coffee. A sip is a very small drink. She took a sip of water. "Can I have a sip?" He sets the cup gently on her desk. To set something means to place it carefully. She set the book on the table. He set down his bag and sat. These words and phrases are the building blocks of real conversation. They are not fancy. They are not academic. They are the words real people use to take care of each other, to talk to each other, to live with each other. And this is what English is for. Not just for tests, not just for essays. English is for connection, for kindness, for understanding other people. The more you listen, the more of this language you absorb, the more natural it becomes. The more you become a part of the English-speaking world. Let me give you more feeling words in English. These are very useful for daily life. Anxious. Anxious means a little worried and nervous. I feel anxious before big meetings. Exhausted. Exhausted means extremely tired. She was exhausted after working all day. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means you have too much to handle, too many things at once. He felt overwhelmed by all his responsibilities. Relieved. Relieved means feeling better after something stressful is over. She was so relieved when she passed the exam. Disappointed. Disappointed means sad because something did not go the way you hoped. He was disappointed when the event was canceled. Grateful. We already learned this word in Daniel's morning. Grateful means thankful, appreciative. I am so grateful for your support. Confident. Confident means you believe in yourself. You feel sure. She walked into the interview feeling confident. Frustrated. Frustrated means annoyed and stuck when something is not working. He was frustrated because he could not find his keys. Hopeful. Hopeful means you believe things will get better. Even when things were difficult, she remained hopeful. Say these words to yourself: anxious, exhausted, overwhelmed, relieved, disappointed, grateful, confident, frustrated, hopeful. These are words for the emotional world. And the emotional world is the most important world of all. When you can name what you feel in English, and when you can understand what others feel, you are communicating at a deep level. That is real English. That is human English. Keep listening. Chapter 7: The 7 Listening Habits of Successful Learners. Chapter 7: The 7 Listening Habits of Successful Learners. I have seen many people learn English. Some of them became very fluent, very fast. Others struggled for years and made little progress. And after watching so many people, I noticed a pattern. The people who succeed in English, they have certain habits, certain ways of approaching the language. Today, I am going to share 7 of those habits with you. If you can adopt even 3 or 4 of these, your English will grow faster than you imagine. Let us begin. Habit 1. They listen every day, without excuses. And successful English learners do not say, "I will listen to English when I have time." Because when you wait for the right time never comes. Successful learners make time, even if it is only 30 minutes, even if it is while they wash the dishes, even if it is while they walk to the bus stop, every day, no exceptions. Because consistency beats intensity every time. Habit 2. They choose content they enjoy. This is a big one. Do not force yourself to listen to boring English content just because someone told you it is good for learning. If you love cooking, listen to English cooking shows. If you love football, watch English football commentary. If you love technology, listen to English tech podcasts. If you love stories, listen to English audiobooks. When you enjoy what you are listening to, your brain pays more attention. You stay focused longer. You absorb more. Enjoyment is not a bonus. Enjoyment is essential. Find the English content that excites you, and then listen to a lot of it. Habit 3. They listen at the right level. If the content is too easy, your brain gets bored. If the content is too hard, your brain gives up. The sweet spot is what language researchers call I+1. This means content that is just slightly above your current level. You understand most of it, maybe 80 or 90%, but there are a few words or phrases that are new. Those new things, your brain picks up naturally from context. This is the most efficient zone for learning, comfortable, but growing. Habit 4. They do not look up every word. Have many learners pause their podcast or their video every time they hear a word they do not know. They open the dictionary, they write it down, they translate it. This feels productive, but it actually slows you down. When you stop every few seconds, you break the flow. You lose the context. Your brain never gets used to processing continuous speech. Instead, let the unknown words go. Trust that you understand the main message. Trust that context will teach you the meaning. Trust that if a word is important, you will hear it again and again until you know it. Just keep listening. Habit 5. They listen actively. Active listening means you're paying attention. You're thinking about what you hear. You're asking yourself, what is happening? What is the main idea? What do these words mean? This is different from passive listening, where the sound is just playing in the background while your mind is somewhere else. Both have value, but active listening produces faster results. Try to actively listen for at least part of your listening time each day. Habit 6. They repeat and shadow. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and then you repeat it immediately. You try to copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, the feeling. This is an incredibly powerful technique. When you shadow, you are not just listening. You are connecting your mouth and your ears. You are training your speaking at the same time. You can shadow with this audio. After I say a sentence, pause the audio. Repeat the sentence. Try to sound like me. Then press play and continue. And even 5 minutes of shadowing a day will accelerate your progress dramatically. Habit 7. They are patient with themselves. This may be the most important habit of all. Learning a language takes time. There is no shortcut. There is no magic app or secret trick that will make you fluent in 30 days. Anyone who tells you that is not being honest with you. Real fluency takes months, sometimes years, and that is okay, because every day you are growing, every listening session you are building, every word you understand is a victory. The people who become fluent are the people who do not give up, who do not compare themselves to others, who wake up every morning, press play, and keep going. That is you. Right now, that is you. 7 habits. Write them down if you can. 1. Listen every day. 2. Choose content you enjoy. 3. Listen at the right level. 4. Do not look up every word. 5. Listen actively. 6. Repeat and shadow. 7. Be patient with yourself. These are the habits of successful learners, and they can be your habits too. Chapter 8. Common Words, Part 3. The Language of Conversation. Chapter 8. Common Words, Part 3. The Language of Conversation. It is now lunchtime in Daniel's day. Daniel and his coworkers walk to a small cafe near the office. They sit at a table by the window. They look at the menu. The waiter comes to their table. "Good afternoon," the waiter says. "Are you ready to order?" Daniel looks at the menu one more time. "I think so," he says. "Can I get the chicken sandwich and a sparkling water?" Please?" "Of course," the waiter says, writing it down. "Anything else?" "That's everything for me. Thank you." Priya orders next. "I'll have the vegetable soup and a green tea, please." "Great choice," the waiter says. "I'll be right back with your drinks." He walks away. Priya turns to Daniel. She smiles, a real smile this time. "Can I ask you something?" she says. "Of course," Daniel says. "How do you always seem so calm?" she asks. "Every morning, you come in, you're focused, you're not stressed." "What's your secret?" Daniel thinks for a moment. "I don't have a secret exactly," he says. "I just try to start my day slowly, quietly. I drink water, I make tea. I sit for a few minutes without my phone, and I try to think of 3 things I'm grateful for." Priya nods. "And that's it?" "That's it," Daniel says. "It sounds simple, but it really works for me." Priya looks out the window for a moment. "Maybe I'll try that," she says. The waiter comes back with their drinks. He sets them on the table carefully. "Your food will be ready in about 10 minutes, he says. "Let me know if you need anything." "Thank you," they both say. Short pause. Let us look at the language of that conversation. This is the language of ordering food, and the language of friendly conversation between coworkers. Both are essential. Both are every day. "Are you ready to order?" This is what a waiter or server asks when they come to your table. Your answer: "I think so," or "Give us a moment, please," or "Yes, we are." "Can I get?" This is a natural, polite way to order food. "Can I get the pasta?" "Can I get a coffee, please?" "Can I get this to go?" This means, I want to take it with me, not eat here. "Anything else?" The waiter asks this to see if you want to add something to your order. "Anything else?" Answer: "No, that's everything." Or, "Actually, yes, can I also get?" "I'll be right back." This is a very common phrase. It means, I am leaving for a moment, but I will return soon. "Wait here, I'll be right back." I'll be right back with your coffee. Let me know if you need anything. This is a polite offer. It means, tell me if there is anything I can help you with. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if that changes. Let me know when you're ready. Can I ask you something? This is how you politely introduce a question. It signals that your question might be personal or a little sensitive. Can I ask you something? What made you choose this city? What's your secret? This is an informal, friendly way to ask, how do you do that so well? You always cook such amazing food. What's your secret? That's it? This means, really? Is that all? That seems too simple. You ran a marathon with no training? That's it? Let me know. A very useful phrase. It means, tell me, inform me. Let me know when you arrive. Let me know what you decide. Let me know if there's a problem. Now I want to do something useful for you. I am going to give you a list of the most common English phrases used in restaurants and cafes. Listen carefully. At a restaurant, when you arrive. Table for two, please. Do you have a reservation? No, we don't. Is that okay? Can we sit by the window? When the server comes, can I get a few more minutes? I'll have the... What do you recommend? What comes with the steak? This means, what food is served together with the steak? Is this dish spicy? Can I have it without onions? During the meal, excuse me, could we get some more water? This is delicious, thank you. Could I get another napkin? At the end, could we get the check, please? Or in British English, could we get the bill, please? Can we pay separately? Keep the change. This means you do not need to give me back the extra coins. Thank you so much. Have a great day. These phrases, they will make you feel confident in any restaurant, in any country, in any English-speaking situation involving food. And now you have heard them in a real story and reviewed them clearly. Your brain has them. Use them the next time you need them. Chapter 9, The Mind That Speaks English, Thinking in a New Language. Chapter 9, The Mind That Speaks English, Thinking in a New Language. There is a milestone in every English learner's journey, a turning point. It is the moment when you stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English. When this happens, speaking becomes so much easier, more natural, more fluid. Because when you translate, you take a thought from your native language, you convert it into English words, and then you say it. That process takes time. And by the time you finish translating, the conversation has moved on. But when you think in English, the thought and the English words appear together at the same time, instantly. And you speak without delay, without hesitation. Now, can I teach you to think in English? Not directly. Thinking in English is not something you decide to do. It is something that happens as a natural result of listening to a lot of English. When you listen to English every day, English words and sentences start to become your brain's natural tool. Your brain starts to reach for English automatically. But there are some things you can do to help this process happen faster. Let me share a few of them. The first technique is narrate your life in English. As you go through your day, quietly describe what you're doing in English, inside your head. When you make breakfast, think, I am boiling water. I am putting bread in the toaster. The coffee smells good. It is a cloudy morning. I feel a little tired, but okay. When you walk down the street, think, the street is busy today. There are many people. That man is talking on his phone. The children are playing near the park. This practice forces your brain to think in English. It builds the habit of reaching for English words first, before your native language. Start with simple things, simple sentences. Do not worry about making mistakes in your head. No one can hear your thoughts. So be free. The second technique is talk to yourself in English. Yes, talk to yourself. When you're alone, in the shower, in the car, walking outside, just start talking. Tell yourself about your day. Today I went to the market. It was very crowded. I bought tomatoes, rice, and some fruit. I ran into my neighbor. Her name is Sarah. We talked for a few minutes. She seemed happy. The weather was hot, but there was a nice breeze. This is speaking practice, without any pressure, without any judgment, without anyone listening. It is one of the safest and most effective ways to build your English speaking habit. The third technique is label your world. When you look at objects around you, mentally say their names in English: window, chair, cup, ceiling, lamp, floor, door handle, refrigerator, pillow, mirror, toothbrush. When you do this, you are building a mental library of English words, each one connected to a real object you see every day. And not just a word on a list, but a word connected to a physical reality. That connection is much stronger in the brain. The fourth technique is dream in English. This sounds strange. Can you really dream in English? Yes. Many learners who listen to English every day begin to dream in English, or they dream in a mix of their language and English. This is a sign, a beautiful sign, that English is becoming part of your mind, part of your subconscious. When this happens, fluency is not far away. How do you dream in English? By listening to English before you sleep. Even just 20 or 30 minutes of calm English audio before bed can help your brain process and absorb English during sleep. Your brain keeps working even while you sleep. It organizes files and consolidates what you learned during the day. Give it English to work with. The fifth technique is think in English when you have emotions. When something makes you happy, think, I am so happy right now. This feels wonderful. When something makes you sad, think, I feel sad. This is hard, but it will pass. When something surprises you, think, wow, I did not expect that. When you attach English words to your real emotions, the language becomes emotionally alive for you. It is no longer just words on a page. It is the language of your actual life, your actual feelings, your actual experience. And when that happens, English becomes a part of you. That is when fluency truly begins. The mind that speaks English is not a special mind. It is not a gifted mind. It is not a mind born with talent. It is a mind that has been filled with English day after day, habit after habit, hour after hour, like a cup being filled with water, slowly, patiently, consistently, until one day it overflows. And when it overflows, the words just come. You open your mouth, and English flows out of you. Naturally, effortlessly, beautifully. That day is coming for you. Keep filling the cup. Chapter 10. The Evening of a Listener and Your Promise. Chapter 10. The Evening of a Listener and Your Promise. It is evening in Daniel's world now. He has finished his work for the day. He is back at home. He changes into comfortable clothes. He opens the window again. The evening air is different from the morning, warmer, softer, quieter. He makes a simple dinner, rice and vegetables. He sits at his kitchen table and eats slowly. After dinner, he washes the dishes, he dries them. He puts them back in the cupboard. Then he sits in his small living room. He has no television, just a lamp, a bookshelf, a comfortable old chair. He picks up a book. He reads for 40 minutes. Then he puts the book down. He just sits for a while. He thinks about the day. He thinks about Priya. He hopes she feels better. He thinks about the small conversation at lunch. He feels, Okay, more than okay. He feels content. Content is a beautiful word. It does not mean ecstatically happy. It does not mean wildly excited. Content means a quiet, deep sense of satisfaction. I am okay. I have what I need. This moment is enough. Daniel feels content. Before he goes to bed, he does what he does every night. He takes his small notebook. He writes 3 more things, 3 things from the day that he is grateful for. Tonight he writes, I am grateful for the cup of coffee I shared with Priya. I am grateful for the good food at lunch. I am grateful for this quiet evening. He closes the notebook. He turns off the lamp. He goes to bed. And as he lies there, in the dark, he thinks, another good day. And slowly, peacefully, he falls asleep. And that, my friend, is the story of Daniel. A simple man, a simple day, but a meaningful one. Full of English, full of real language, full of real life. And now, it is time for me to speak to you. Maya speaking to you directly. For the final time in this session. You have been listening for almost 1 hour now. Do you feel it? The warmth in your ears, the familiarity of the sounds, the way English has been wrapping around you for the past hour, slowly, steadily, building something inside you. That something is your English. It is growing, even as you sit there, even as you breathe. I want to leave you with some final words, important words, words I want you to carry with you after this audio ends. First, you are not starting from zero. You are a person who speaks a language, perhaps even 2 or 3. You are a person who has thoughts, ideas, stories, feelings. You are intelligent. You are capable. You are ready. English is not replacing who you are. English is adding to who you are. It is giving you a new door. A door to conversations, to friendships, to opportunities, to books, to music, to films, to places you have never been, and people you have never met. Behind that door is a whole world waiting for you. You just have to keep walking toward it. Second, the hour you just gave is not nothing. I know it might feel small, just 1 hour, just listening, but it is not small. In a world where everyone is rushed, distracted, overwhelmed, you sat down and you gave 1 full hour to your growth, to your English, to your future. That is not small. That is commitment. That is discipline. That is love for yourself and for your goals. Be proud of that. Third, come back tomorrow. This is the most important thing I will say. Come back tomorrow morning. Press play again. Listen again. And the day after that. And the day after that. Not because you must, not out of obligation, but because you made a decision to grow, a decision to speak English with confidence. And that decision requires daily action, small action, comfortable action, enjoyable action, like this, but action every day. Fourth, believe that you can do this, because you can. I have seen people older than you, people with less time, people with less education, people who failed English class many times, become fluent speakers because they did not give up, because they listened every day, because they trusted the process. And you have already proven something today. You listened for 1 hour. You followed a story. You understood the words. You absorbed the language. You did it. And you will do it again tomorrow. And the next day. And one day, you will look back at this moment, this morning, this cup of tea or coffee, this first hour of listening, and you will smile because you will know this is where it began. This is where you chose to grow. This is where the speaking momentum started for you. My name is Maya, and this has been the Speaking Momentum. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this hour with me. You are not alone on this journey. I am here. every morning, every session, every word. I believe in your English. I believe in you. Now, go and have a wonderful day. And tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off, before you check your phone, before anything else, put in your earphones, press play, and listen. That is your one promise to yourself. That is your speaking momentum.